That is a lot, Slurpee.
Yeah. I've put 2 Red Bulls in this today.
Oh my god.
I bought a cup of ice and I was like, okay, let's fucking go. Oh, hey guys, look who just walked in. Hey Alice, how you doing? You came at a good time. We got Vern in the motherfucking building tonight. You guys mind going around introducing yourself to Alice real quick?
Sure. What's up, Alice? I'm Rose Savage, and I play bass.
Hi guys, I'm Juliana. People call me G. I am the front woman of Vern.
I'm Gabe. I play guitar.
I'm Hunter. I hit stuff.
What's up, Alice? I like your chains. My name's Tommy. Shred guitar.
Hell yeah. You guys have a new single coming out this Friday. I think Alice is probably today when this is going up, but if not, March 31st, End My Night.
Yes, that'll be our debut single. We've been this iteration of Vern for about 8 months. 6 months, give or take. Not that long. We recorded these back in October, and this will be the first of 5 that come out this spring, summer. So this will come out on the 31st of March, and then our EP will come out in May.
Nice.
Yeah, we're really excited.
What is Vern? What does that mean? Is that something y'all talk about?
Mm-hmm.
It is, yeah. Do you want to start this one, or you want me to?
The 3 thing only happened recently, but Vern, the name, started. Well, I don't want to say it because it's more you.
Well, I mean, like, I think that I'll start it. You take it back. So I started Vern as a solo project in the summer of 2021, I believe, right? Yeah, that sounds about right. I was doing solo stuff. Never really wanted to do solo stuff. I was going by Vern. It was my pop name. And then as things started to develop, I met Tommy and Gabe. They were the first 2 that are, part of this iteration now. And we started going by Vern as a band. And one of our dear friends, Elliot Kaplan, shout out to Elliot, we love him. He walked up to me one day at the Villager Tavern and was like, hey, G, so are you Vern? Or is the band Vern? And I just kind of looked at Gabe and I was like, yeah, we're Vern. It's a band. It's all of us.
Moment.
Yeah, it totally
Is
freaking
Pink
was.
Floyd a person or the band? I would just go with the person. But fair enough.
Yeah, no, it was. I was like, well, I don't really want to be Vern. Do you want to be Vern? We're like, no.
Nose goes on who
Yeah,
gets
we were
to
like,
be
huh?
Vern.
So it kind of just stuck. And then there's a really, really dope punk band out of Knoxville, I believe, and they are Vern. And so we started to get mixed up with them because we run in really, really similar circles. And so I kind of felt bad too because they would be like, hey, add us to an Instagram chat. I think you're looking for the other Vern. And, people all over Nashville started tagging Vern, and it was V3RN, and it wasn't us. And people were like, are you guys, tagging this places? We're like, no, it's not us. Not us. No, really, it's not us. And we were like, all right, this is getting very confusing. And so we had a meeting, and we were like, we need to change this. And, I mean, the 3 kind of came out of what?
I just texted the group and was like, hey guys, hear me out. Vern, but with a 3. And then everyone's pretty much just like, yeah, sure. Let's do that.
Cool.
Gucci.
Yeah.
Solves that problem.
Yeah, I literally solved a problem. And actually, funny enough, today we still got added for we're doing something called Purple Fest, which is a...
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're doing Purple Fest at the skate park, and they messaged the other Vern, and they were so comfy with them now. They're like, hey, wrong Vern. And they popped us in, and I was like, hey. Yeah, I was like, you should actually add them on your next bill, because they're really great.
Shout out to the other Vern in
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to the other Vern, because we love
Sorry
them.
about that.
We're trying to show.
Vern.tn.
We still
that would be hilarious. You should.
We are, and it's all their. I'm not gonna steal their credit. They were like, we should do the Between the Two Verns show, and we tried to get it popping, and there were just no dates that were.
That's the
working
perfect
for it.
branding.
Yeah, that's all them over there.
Still
So
gonna
we
make it
can't steal.
happen.
Yeah, we are gonna make it
eventually.
happen.
Come on.
They're cool dudes, so for sure.
One day.
You say writing started back October last year. Did I hear that right? For this, what you got coming out now?
Tracking.
Tracking.
We
Oh, my
yeah,
bad.
We
So,
tracked
okay.
in October, yeah.
So did you? End My Night. Is that something y'all wrote together, or what was that process like?
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is
Actually,
everybody?
yeah.
So I'll take this one. I came into the band when it was these three. Gabe was actually playing drums at the time. Tommy was doing all the heavy lifting on the strings, and then G was obviously doing her thing behind the mic. And In My Night was one of the songs that had already been written when I came in. So it's different now. We've changed some stuff as we've added members, and it's changed even since the recording. Now that we've added Rose as well.
Yeah.
But structurally, it is almost the same tune as it was when I joined. So these three wrote In My Night pretty much 99% of what you hear, and then I came in and changed
Gotcha.
a little bit. So I don't want to take writing credit for it, but I will take it if someone else gives it to me.
I also did nothing.
All right. Well, all right. I can give you kind of a history lesson if you'd like, because it's
Sure.
They say they do nothing, and that's just bullshit. Can I cuss on here? I'm assuming so.
Absolutely fucking not.
Okay. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
how fucking dare
It's the
you.
old Italian respect thing. It's like, oh God. So a lot of these songs were written in what I like to call cowboy chords, because I can sing my little ass off, but don't ask me to play a fucking instrument. So a lot of these songs were written actually probably about, some of them were even started 5 years ago by myself in my bedroom with cowboy chords. Brought them to Gabe and Tommy, and at the time our other band member Connor. Connor is no longer in the band, but shout out to him because he was a very important part of the foundation of Vern. And they kind of made them what they were. So that would be two of the songs on the, no, one, just one that made it in. No, because
Well,
Two.
we already
25.
had 4 of the songs on the EP were written before I
Well,
joined.
technically
true.
3.
Lie to, sorry, it's so different
Yeah.
now, so I can't even think about it. So Lie, 25, and End My Night, those were all kind of fleshed out. But a lot after that, after I brought them these cowboy chords, the first song that we wrote from top to bottom together was End My Night, and that's kind of why we decided to put it out first. That was a song that Tommy and I sat down and we wrote the lyrics for together, because previously it had been me writing the lyrics, them editing. This was really a baby of both he and I, and then as well Gabe, and he came in and added flesh to it. And it's funny, I don't even consider those other 2 songs to be written beforehand, because Lie, for example, on our EP is so different because we reworked that completely as a band, so I count that as a new write even though it wasn't. So we started writing some of these like 5 years ago, and then we tracked them down finally in October. And so we had been performing as a band for about a year before that, just by word of mouth, no recorded music online, except for one version of 25 that wasn't accurate to what we were doing live.
Gotcha. Yeah, the first time I saw you was at the Writers Round. Me and Gabe were just talking about that. What you said, September? I think.
Was
Is that
the
right?
last one in September? No, it had been before that.
Was it the one that we hosted with the Nothingness Collective?
June?
I don't know.
Probably June. I think we did a couple of those over the summer. We actually started those rounds because we really
Oh,
wanted.
really?
Yeah. So that was
That's
our
awesome.
little baby.
I love that stuff. It's so great.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, and
I'm
we
sure.
were starting to dig into doing the EP, and so it had to be put on pause for a
Yeah,
little
I'm sure
while.
it's a lot of work.
It was, and it's a lot of fun, and I feel like now that we've dipped our toes more into the community that we're more attuned to, it'll be a lot easier to get some of that momentum going again, because we've had other people say, like, hey, like, we would really love to do one of those again, and we have so many friends, genuinely just, like, good people we would love to, like, share the stage with again. So, yeah, it's cool that you met us there, because that's exactly what it was formed to do, was to meet people in your community, so I'm glad that serviced y'all.
Yeah.
It's dope.
So like, really hard segue, because that's what I do. You guys got any ghost stories that you want to share?
I got one.
Yeah, please.
It's not really like a ghost story, I guess, but like a Ouija board story that
Oh.
which is the reason why I don't fuck with Ouija boards.
Yeah, that's perfect. I should elaborate. When I say ghost story, that you hit the nail on the head. Like something that you can't explain with logic. So not necessarily doesn't have to be ghosts, but
Fair.
yeah.
I got plenty of those in my life. But
I
I'll
was
just
gonna
I'll just
say.
go with one.
Yeah.
How much time do you have?
Every day I see
6
something
years.
happen that I can't explain.
Yeah,
It's usually of my own doing as well. It's
Often
just
it
Why
is.
the
weird.
fuck did I do that? I have zero explanation.
I know.
Yeah, that's supernatural.
I know. God. Well, yeah, it's funny because I've always like delved into different, spiritualities like throughout my life. Like it's weird. I was raised in like a half Muslim, half atheist household, so like I've never had like a set religion. So I've always been very open
Gotcha.
to like spiritual things and open to that type of realm. But this story, basically, I was like 16 and I had a friend who was a Satanist, quote unquote, but he didn't know really what the fuck he was doing. He just, I guess, listened to a lot of Marilyn Manson and whatever. But like,
As they do.
as they do, yeah, exactly. And his house was creepy as shit anyways. It was out in like Benson, North Carolina, which is like bumfuck nowhere. 0 out of 10, don't recommend. But he had a Ouija board.
Shut up.
We were all over there one day, and he had this like really creepy back room that like I didn't like going into because like it just gave me a weird vibe. I was just like, I don't want to go back there. Like his dogs wouldn't go in there. Like just weird shit, right?
That's not a
So
good sign.
yeah, I trust what animals feel. So I
Yeah.
just I
We
don't
can get into that later.
I know, honestly.
with people too. Like
Yeah.
if a dog doesn't like someone, I'm like, you're sus.
Yeah, I got a dog too, and I'm just like, if he don't like you, then you can just get the fuck out of my
Yeah.
house. Like that's it. But basically, just not to make this like a drawn out story, he had a Ouija board. We had a bunch of friends over, and they were all fucking with it one day in the back, and they were like, they all had their hand on the planchette. And I wasn't. I've always been skeptical about that shit because I'm just like, you don't know what you're fucking talking to, you know what you're doing.
Oh, for sure. And I don't mean
not
to cut
doing
you
that.
off, but what did the board look like? Was it like the standard, like a rectangle?
It was wooden, and he had created it.
Oh, it was a real
Okay.
one.
Yeah. And I don't
No
really
Hasbro.
remember what the planchette looked like. Like I said, I was like
Was
16
Oh, we
or
used to
17.
write them on a
It
white
was like
piece
a
of
rectangle
paper.
though,
It was a
and
rectangle.
like the letters go like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he had like carved it himself. Like it was
The
like
planchette too.
I don't know about the planchette. I don't know if that was like something he had made too, but like he had made the board himself. And so they all had like candles lit. They all had their hand on the planchette. They were like, "Is there any little bitches in here?" Like like acting
Not really
like
mature.
fucking assholes. And I was just like, y'all are about to make whatever the fuck is in this house mad as shit. Like I'm not doing this. So either way, I was just watching. And so I don't know. Somebody was just like, "No, ask it a real question." And so somebody was like, if anybody's here, like, do something. And, like, as soon as whoever said that, like, said it, it just made me feel really weird. Like, I got this weird stomach drop feeling. I was like, I need to get the fuck out of this room. Like, so I walked up the stairs to get out of the room. And I heard, like, as soon as I got to the last step, like, I heard this loud, like, kind of like glass shattering. And then I looked behind me and the light was off. Like, the fucking light bulb exploded.
Oh,
And
shit.
weird enough, like, over the years, like, bad shit happened to each one of those people because I don't think they ever finished the game. So like one guy got arrested for like being a sexual predator, which I'm sure had nothing to do with the Ouija board. I'm sure he was
I was
just
gonna say, you should have been extra.
That sounds like
Anyways.
his
I'm
fault.
sure that was just him, but it was just weird.
This ghost
coincidence.
is doing God's work.
Yeah.
Seriously.
God's work.
He's like, the demons told me
Satan's
to.
work.
I know. Another girl, like, she was like super like straight A chick, like, and she got accepted into like this really good college out in North Carolina. She ended up like on crack and with a felony, like out of nowhere. Like all kinds of shit started happening to like all these people, and I was just like, that's why I don't fuck with Ouija boards.
This is like the most fucked up breakfast club.
I know. I was like, try to warn y'all, try to tell y'all. Y'all didn't listen to me.
Wow.
Now you got felonies and sexual predators running around.
So like,
Again, sexual predator I don't think was from the planchette.
No, I already addressed that, G. Like, I'm sure it wasn't.
so this light bulb, like the casing broke, like the outside.
Like the whole fucking bulb just like
Dude.
it was like a weird, like I remember hearing like a weird like kind of like I don't know how to explain it, like kind of like air sucking out sound and then just like glass shattering and then
Wow.
like the light that was on like it just was
That's
off
crazy to
and
me because
gone.
it's like usually like the filament inside, like not the bulb itself. That's crazy.
Yeah. I'll never forget it for as long as I live.
Yeah, that's true.
You
That's
said you were like
definitely
this is
something
like
weird.
16. You said
I was 16 when it happened, 16, 17. I'm gonna be 28 soon,
Dude,
so
that was
like
a
it's been a
decade
long
ago,
time
damn.
ago. Don't say that.
I have an eerily similar story, actually.
Do tell.
Around the same time, 16, 17 years old, I was with my first band, and two of us in that band, me and my friend Dalton, loved to terrorize the other two members of the band.
Poor Dylan.
Dalton and I were not spiritual people in the slightest. Dylan and Jared, the other two band members, were good Christian boys. And Dalton and I would use that to our advantage. We'd have a lot of fun with them. And one day, we find out that Jared, and Dylan a little bit, but mostly Jared, terrified of Ouija boards. Just, like, won't even walk in the room if they know one is in there. So Dalton and I immediately are like, we're sleeping over at their house tonight. So we're going to make one on paper and just, like, slip it under Dylan's Xbox. And get him to, like, accidentally discover it, right?
Y'all are dicks.
Yeah, we were not good people.
And
So
you let us stay at his house, and you did this to him.
different house, but yeah.
Jesus.
So we did that, worked perfectly. We were like, hey, let's play some Call of Duty, and he goes to turn it on. He's like, what's this? Ah, it's a Ouija board. So he made us get it out of his room. We put it in the room that we were going to be sleeping in that night. A few hours pass. Dylan's like, I'm going to bed. Dalton and I go in the other room, and we're like, hey, we have this Ouija board. Let's see what happens. So it's just the two of us. We open contact, couple questions, nothing really happens. So we're like, if there's anything here, give us a sign. Within like 4 seconds, we hear glass breaking from the kitchen.
What the fuck?
And Dalton and I look at each other, and I'm like, we need to go check on that. And he's like, we need to close this first. So I'm like, smart man. We say goodbye. We end the game. As we're walking out, Dylan is coming out of his room. And we're like, dude, I think your mom like dropped a glass or something. He goes, my parents are not home right now. All four of us were either the two with me and Dalton in that room or Jared and Dylan in the room right next to us on the opposite end of the house. We go into the kitchen. All the lights are off, pitch black. His parents hadn't just come home or something. Top like door where all the wine glasses and stuff were kept, open, shattered on the floor.
How many?
Just one.
Oh.
A single glass.
Oh, that's an omen, bro.
The door went from closed to fully open and only one glass fell out. Yeah.
Oh no.
I was like, okay, Dylan,
Goodbye,
I didn't want to
goodbye,
tell you
goodbye.
this, but like, we used the Ouija board.
It's a generous term for what that was.
Yeah. And that was the only time I thought Dylan was going to kick me out of his house. I was like, hey, this is it for me. I'm
And
going
you
home.
drew it?
Yeah, we drew it with pen and paper.
Did you
like
guys-
earlier that day.
Did you
Oh,
guys
fuck.
use like your hands, or did you use? So I grew up in Salem, Massachusetts, and I have
Okay.
one to tack onto the end of this, but I gotta ask you: did you guys use your hands, or did you guys take?
We got a
necklace.
glass cup.
Ah,
and had our
the
hands
old
on top
glass
of
it.
cup.
Yeah.
So where I'm from, we also did the Ghetto Fabulous Ouija board, and we would draw it on a piece of printer paper.
Yeah, to make your own Ouija.
I was friends with this promiscuous girl named, I'm not going to say her name. She was very promiscuous. My mom did not like this girl, and she was a little bit of a hot mess. She's a nice girl. I have no idea what she's doing now. Probably something nefarious.
OnlyFans. Which is
I
not
mean,
nefarious.
no, that's not nefarious, but it was when you were in 7th grade.
She's
and
gonna
it
watch
was
this
nudity
podcast
and
and be like,
seventh-
oh
no.
shit, I'm getting talked.
Hey,
No,
shout
no,
out,
no,
baby.
no, no,
Drew
like,
you.
you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
shout out
As an
promiscuous
adult,
girls.
very
Oh,
much, we
good.
support sex workers as an adult. At 13 years old, when you're teaching, somebody what a blowjob is, you probably shouldn't be doing. Anyways, all right.
13?
So yeah, we were young. We were
Damn.
young. I don't need to get into that. So I'm from up north, babe. This shit happens.
But 13.
Girl, we're not doing this. So she was a little wild. She'd seen a lot more than I had, and like she came over to my house, and we used to take necklaces. Okay, so we did the necklace. You guys ever do the pendulum?
Yeah.
Okay.
Scrying.
I didn't do it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So it's either you do the planchette or the glass cup if you're, Ghetto Fabulous Ouija board, or you do the necklace. And it was just her and I home. I remember it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We walked home from my middle school, which was right around the block from my house. And we started asking a bunch of questions. Nothing happened, really. Like, it was no biggie. We closed it and, we ripped it up because that's, when you're 13, that is like what you do to the Ouija board. I was probably 12, actually, now that I think about it. She leaves. My grandmother's from Greece. She's an eccentric woman, but she's very spiritual. She prays a lot. And if you're familiar with any like the Greek Orthodox faith, religion stuff, some of them, they talk to like spirits or they ask questions. It's a very interesting realm of like spirituality that is also connected to kind of psychic abilities. Okay. So my grandmother, very, very religious, very spiritual person, predicted the birth of babies. Walked into her house, I shit you not, starts cussing at me in Greek. I'm like, what? And she's like, what did you do? I'm like, what do you mean what did I do? She's like, what did you do? Because something's off in here. What did you do? Why is it negative energy? I'm like, well, we used a Ouija board. Freaked out, screamed at me in Greek, went back out to her car. If you've ever like seen like the Nere Christian and the Santo, like the whole like incense that they swing, she had one in her car and she opened all the windows up and was like screaming at me, see what you do? You can't do this in the house. And we were alone. This was before anyone had a Ring doorbell. I was like sitting, I remember in my living room couch, like, oh my God, like my grandmother's gonna kill me if this thing doesn't first.
God.
So mine happened of someone else feeling it, but it was the same thing. It was nobody else could have known. And how the hell did that happen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So, is that a type of Christianity?
It's Greek. She's Greek Orthodox, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not. I don't subscribe to the Jesus guy. Much myself, but I grew up Greek Orthodox. Take that as you want it.
Gotcha. I didn't know. There's so many denominations. I didn't realize at first when you said.
Based on a Catholicism?
Yeah, it's super close. It's basically Catholicism for Greeks. So
Okay.
it's just like think like Catholics with like heavier beards and gold chains, right?
Gotcha.
Similar to the Roman Catholic.
Yeah, it's actually really similar to Russian Orthodox as well. All jokes
Oh,
aside, so
interesting.
it's
Okay.
very ornate.
Yeah.
Like incense, like like I said, that I always make fun of, like the Diata de Cristo, and they do.
Yeah.
We do the cross the other way around. So
Oh, okay.
very 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 Eastern.
When
looking.
you first brought it up, I didn't know if you meant like Greek pantheon, like Zeus and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, my grandmother's an ancient god worshiper. No, that'd be cool though. That'd be like way cooler. I feel like.
I mean, I grew up extremely Christian. All my family is Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh my.
And they're all really deep in it. Like my sister's pretty high up in that organization.
I mean, good for
So.
her.
Yeah. Well, is what it is.
Yeah.
We love all faiths here at Vern. Like I said,
Yeah.
you do you as long as you don't make us do anything else. Actually, I speak for myself. I don't speak for my bandmates. But
No, it's
Speak
true.
for your bandmates.
yeah, I speak for them. No, I don't. We are all very much our own people.
It's true.
Anytime I ask them something, just answer it for
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, my
do you wanna
ADD
talk
might
about my
cut you off.
childhood?
Yeah,
Go
let me.
for it.
I probably could. You I at this point.
You could, honestly.
Yeah, you could ask Rose a question about me and vice versa. We could probably answer it.
Honestly, yeah, it's true.
Do we have any more fun stories?
I saw a ghost one time. I was in my mother's home
Is
at
this
the time.
after the first story?
Long before the
Okay.
I was probably like 8 or 9 maybe when this
Gotcha.
happened.
How old were you when the other story happened?
16-ish,
Okay.
16 or 17. I was in my mom's house at the time. I'm just sitting on my bed watching cartoons. I remember this vividly. I was watching Totally Spies.
I love that show.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and we're in the intro sequence, so I'm laser focused on the TV. And all of a sudden I see like someone walk past the doorway to my room. And the way this house was set up was you walk through the front door and you're immediately in a long hallway. There's a bedroom immediately to your left. There's my bedroom, there's a bathroom, and then you're in the living room kitchen area with the master bedroom off of that. So for anyone to walk by my door in the direction they were going, they would have had to come from my sister's room, who was away at college, or through the front door, which I would have heard the opening and closing of. So I see a figure walk past, and immediately I'm like, that's sus. My mom's in her room on the other end of the house. No one's there. What the fuck? I get up out of bed. I round the corner into the hallway.
You brave.
Yeah, I wanted to see what the hell was going on. I don't see any, like, flesh. I see literally, like, a black silhouette the whole time I'm seeing this thing. But cowboy. Hat, boot with spurs, tassels. I see it all. And I'm like, what the fuck? There's a pitch black cowboy in my hallway.
That's a good band name.
You pitch black
Pitch
cowboy,
Black
yeah.
Cowboy?
Man, I'm
Sir.
gonna back pocket that one. So I'm like, what the hell is he doing? And he keeps walking, and I'm like, I gotta follow him. He turns right into the kitchen. As soon as I make it around the corner, I see him walk through the door into the garage. Like, doesn't open it, just phases right through it like you would expect to see in like a TV show or something. And I'm like, well, what's he doing in the garage? How'd he get through the door? I open the garage door. He's gone. Nothing there. I immediately walk into my mom's room, and I'm like, did you let a cowboy?
How old are you?
Like 9, maybe. And she's like, what are you talking about? I think she literally said, I'm doing my taxes. What are you talking about? And I was like, a cowboy just walked through the house, and she was like, describe him. I was like, hat, tassels, boots, spurs, cowboy. You know what?
There's a snake
John
in my
Wayne.
boot.
You know, what do you want me to say? And she, like, her eyes got really big, and she was like, was it like, and I was like, he walked through the door. And I don't mean, like, came in after opening the door, Mom. I mean, he literally walked through the door, and she was like, you're going to sleep in here tonight. And I was immediately, I wasn't scared until she said that. And I was like, why? And she was like, there's no one else here. And there's definitely no cowboys walking through the door. And I'm like, oh, great. So you're telling me I just chased a ghost through our house? Fuck yeah. Let's go.
If he wanted to bug you, he would have.
Yeah, no, see, he was totally benign. He was just having a little stroll. I'm sure he was looking for his horse or
Looking
something.
for the radio.
Probably confused. How about you? You got any?
Looking for Buzz.
But yeah,
How about you two?
that was it. It was a pretty chill ghost encounter.
Frickin' frack. You guys don't ever
Nah,
shut up at
not anything.
practice. You have nothing to
Nothing.
say?
He's got no ghost stories. Kansas
yeah.
doesn't have ghosts.
Alien stories?
Kansas.
Kansas?
Missouri, Kansas, none of them have ghosts. Nobody dies in the Midwest.
Nobody.
UFOs, aliens?
Oh yeah, that's more your bag.
No.
Yeah, you have constant alien contact.
In your brain.
No. Yeah, it explains a lot. Right? So my family has just accepted that we have the previous owner of our home's ghost rolling around in our house. He was in a wheelchair, and like the whole house was actually designed to like fit his needs too.
Really cute though.
So like if you look at all the neighboring houses, very kind of cookie cutter. So everything's like a little lower than every single other house, and like sometimes we'll just hear like water turn on, or we'll hear like doors open and close, cabinets open and close.
How did they know who owned the house previously? Was it like someone they knew?
I think we bought it from in 2008. We bought it from the family.
Gotcha. So, okay, so they knew in some way, they knew the guy, like, or the family of the guy.
Yeah, the
Gotcha.
family of the man in a wheelchair.
Okay, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
You're golden. No, that was it.
Oh, okay.
It was
This
not-
rolling
Tons
like
of
sound.
unexplained
I
noises.
held my tongue about it. It's like it's a casual ghost.
Yeah.
He just hangs out. It's like Casper.
He's just chilling, yeah.
Just like sounds in the ceiling and stuff like that of him rolling around.
It's mostly like inside the kitchen.
Hmm.
Around
That's
the kitchen.
interesting.
He must have liked to cook.
My dad's dad, my grandfather had a ghost in his house. My dad's like a super tough dude. Like he is not one to like make things up, or two, subscribe to any of this. But there was a legitimate, like I said, I'm from Salem. There was a legitimate ghost when he was living there in his 20s that used to like fling open the cabinets and like throw shit on the ground and play chopsticks on the piano. And they found out it was a little girl who died in the house like years ago. So my dad like said he could never sleep in there.
She
So.
never learned anything other than chopsticks, it sounds like.
All right, it's my father. Like he probably was saying chopsticks. It
It
was
probably
just-
was literally
You
chopsticks.
think?
Yeah.
Floating chopsticks.
So
Alright, gang.
I think the second story you told was really interesting because the first one you started, you said that you and your friend were like not.
Not spiritual. Inclined, yeah.
So what do you think about those experiences?
I mean, I say we're not spiritual. At that time, I was in a big, like, if I can't see it in front of me, it can't be real phase.
Bless you.
I've since grown out of that mentality. So my perspective now is definitely different than it was when I was doing things like that. But, I mean, I guess my take on it now would be that, like, there's clearly something that we can't see. Whether that's some divine being, whether that's, like, a being that is in a dimension parallel to ours that we can't comprehend, whatever the case may be. There's clearly something going on that we can't explain. There's too many coincidences in the way that our planet functions, just on the edge of blowing itself up every day. And I'm not talking about like society, that's its own animal, but like gravity, the distance we are from the sun, etc. Like there's so many things that
The Goldilocks.
exactly
Yeah.
the golden amount of stuff that has to happen for us to be able to
Yeah.
wake up every day. There's no chance that that's like all a happy accident. But I also like am not arrogant enough as to say it's this,
Oh,
or
sure.
it's that. It can't be that because it is this. Like, I don't know, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with not ever understanding these things.
No one on this planet knows shit. We're all just
Yes.
bumbling around,
Precisely.
confused children.
Yeah, there are no such things as coincidences, only correlations.
Yeah, it's a strange life. It's a strange time in this life to be alive right now.
Yeah.
Glad I'm sharing it with friends. It makes it easier because it's weird times right now. A lot of different things going on.
But is it?
What do you mean?
So, it's sure things are different now
I see
than
what you're
they,
saying.
than
Every
they ever
generation's
were.
felt that way.
Exactly. Like, we have our set of problems, our set of
We're talking about this either.
unusualities. They had weird shit going on in 1200. They had weird shit going on in 400. They had
Probably
weird
weirder.
shit going on BC.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Like,
I
we're always expanding. Society,
Quote, Jim
technology,
Morrison
whatever.
In Strange Days from 1968, Strange Days have found us.
It's true.
I,
Jim Morrison also predicted that music would be predominantly technological
Yes,
and
he did.
machines would take
He
over.
predicted electronic music and DJs
Yep.
way back then in an interview.
Yeah, so it's like you said, it's like a generational thing. Like back in the 60s, they thought like they would have never thought this was possible. They probably thought we were fucking gonna drive like
Oh,
flying
yeah.
cars.
They
But
did.
No, we have a
For real.
church for the
Seen the
spaghetti
Jetsons.
monster instead. Like so,
yeah.
there's a lot of strange things in this time period, but you just gotta take the good with the bad and not to focus on the bad itself.
Yeah, I definitely agree that like there's every time era has its own challenges and issues, but I do think there is something about our time like and that thing would be technology.
We're oversaturated.
Yeah,
We're
like
apathetic.
the rate at which our technology grows right now is completely unprecedented to recorded history. It's like
Yeah, and we interact so differently than anyone had the opportunity to interact before. Like I feel like humans know way too much about each other
I agree.
now.
I agree.
Because it is so easy to share whatever thought you have, whatever opinion you have on anything. Like, we all know entirely too much about one another.
I guess people got along better when they weren't like knew every personal thought each other had.
Exactly.
Or how about like, you know, I said something earlier and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta think about how I say that. It's not gonna be deleted, or like someone's gonna like clip it out and hold it against me, or like it's like, why do you think our generation's so anxious?
Yeah.
There's a blueprint on everything you do. We're human. Who the fuck doesn't fuck up once in a while? And it's like, not to mention now you have every piece of information you've ever wanted about Joe. And you're being watched, and Joe has every piece of information about you, and so does Peter down the street who hates your guts, like, or that loves you. Like, you it's. I feel like you're oversaturated.
And then like privacy and security and stuff, like stuff you don't even has nothing you ever said, just information about you out there that's like not like that happens all the time, like companies stealing your data and stuff.
I have no people. We're trying to make a career out of this. We're famous in somebody's data log for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
I know.
Me and Neve joke about like one day we're gonna because I upload this to Anchor, like we're on platforms I've never even heard of, like that aren't in English, you know.
Oh, nice.
So I have no idea what our numbers are, and we'll joke about like one day we're gonna find out that like we're like really popping off in Indonesia. It's like
Dude.
Tribe in Uruguay, every
sick.
single person, you know.
Shout out
For
to the
hours.
tribe.
Yeah, inside, like, you know.
To someone outside of America, this is their only glimpse into America.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? You say
That's it.
Indonesia. There's actually
We
a
cover up the whole
Vern
country.
in Indonesia
Yeah.
that our streaming got mixed with on YouTube. So it's funny that's out of all the countries you could have picked.
I'm gonna hit them up next. That's actually who I was trying to get. You guys showed up. I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
it's the Vern.
shit.
It's Vern.tn all over again, man.
That'd be Vietnamese.
Vietnamese?
That Vern that you're talking about?
No, they're Indonesian.
Dude, there's probably one in every country, man.
I'm sure.
there's also a Vietnamese
We're
one.
very
no
ununique.
shortage.
Just don't
Everyone
listen
gets
to our
one.
All
album.
the iterations
It's
of
horrible.
Who
Everyone
would've
gets a
thought
Vern.
that really just almost grabbing that name out of the air, because it's such a, and then another band's got it, and then another band's.
Yeah, on the other side of the world.
You know,
Yeah, I mean,
It speaks a different language.
there's a whole lot of like band titles that you would think that would happen to, you know.
Mhm.
Not Vern.
But Vern.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we're V3RN.
I think of Jim Varney. If y'all.
Oh, the actor from the
yeah,
80s. So that's the other Vern's
What-
logo.
what-
See, why do you keep talking about that?
They really did mean to get.
They really did want the other Vern. Guys, I'm sorry, it's happening again. You're not listening to
I know,
this,
we're
but maybe you are.
We're all fucking frauds.
No, they capitalized on that. We weren't smart enough to capitalize on that.
So that's what they're using. That's what you're saying. I was like confused by that. So the other band is using Jim Varney as Vern.
Yeah, they are. We had a clip from what was that movie?
I don't remember.
Little Rascals, maybe.
It wasn't Little Rascals. It was
Was it
some-
Stand By Me?
Stand by Me. Yep.
Yeah.
Vern. That's not the secret passcode. Yeah, we had that up for a while, just like a rip clip.
Nice.
For some C-word content.
I think it's a good name. It's a good name.
Thanks. It's short and sweet, like Blink, or like, you know,
That's their official.
No Doubt.
Yeah.
No,
They
but it's
actually were Blink, but they had to change it.
wait,
for
for
legal
real.
purposes.
Yeah, they almost got sued
Mm.
by a Swedish duo. So they had to put on the 182.
Really?
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that
it's
either.
a number of times that Scarface says fuck. Or
Oh, wow.
Al Pacino says fuck in the movie Scarface.
Wait, for
Huh.
real?
Nice.
Yeah,
Fun fact.
182 times. They're like, let's put it in there.
Hell
Perfect.
yeah.
So where do you think art comes from? Like, there's this painting I really like. You guys know Alex Gray? He does all the
Oh,
tool
yeah.
artwork. He did a painting where it's like, it's a picture of a guy painting. Like he's at an easel, and through the back of his head, there's like this god thing, like shooting a laser into the back of his head, and then like it's like coming out of his eyes into the page. And I've always really liked that painting. In your writing process, and like if each of you has an answer for this, that'd be cool. But what do you think art is? What do you think? Does it start with you? Does it start somewhere else?
I think art is an innate need to articulate something that you can't always put into words.
I like that.
Whether that's something, like a painting, or even, I mean, you could even put it into words, but sometimes, like I said, you can't articulate it. So, like, that's where you have other mediums of art, You've got, like, acting is an art, and painting is an art, and, like, there's several different mediums that come into that. So, I think that it all goes hand in hand, like writing as well, and poetry, too. But in that, in that realm, like you mentioned, the guy with the god coming out of the back of his head. Like, can you really put that into words? Or would you rather see it on a piece of paper or like a canvas and like view it and make your own meaning out of it?
Good point. Art is a language.
It is.
Yeah.
It's not always, a language that you speak,
Yeah.
It's something that you can see and kind of understand on your own.
Yeah. And that's another good point. Like, art means things to different people. It's like, you think you know what the artist meant by that, but then like you talk to someone else about that piece, and they're like, actually, I got something completely different out of it.
Yeah.
That's the reason we've stopped talking about, like, a big Nashville thing is to talk about what the song means. And I do a lot of the speaking at our shows, but we have tried to stop doing that because my goal personally, like I said, I don't speak for my band, as a songwriter, is to convey emotion. Now what you get out of that song, that's for you to decide. Who am I to tell you what this means for you? So that's, and that is why, like I said, the writers' rounds are a very specific thing where people, that is the whole purpose of those. It's for artists to share their art with other artists. But like y'all said, it's what you can get out of it. So we don't really talk about what our songs mean at all anymore. We want you to figure it out.
Yeah,
That's
it's kind
awesome.
of like
Personally, I'm a huge fan of bands.
Me too.
Getting into that. I tell often with production and working with bands, I'll tell them it doesn't matter. It's the common idea. You play to one person like you're playing the Fillmore, but also you never apologize. I see artists get up all the time and they'll say, "Oh, this is a new song. Bear with us." Oh, yada yada, and I tell them never do that. Never over discuss that. Never apologize ahead of time. You're on stage presenting what you believe is the greatest thing these people are ever going to witness. And if you think less than that, then your show is going to be less than that. It will never be that unless you think that and portray that when you get on stage and say, no, I'm about to give these people the greatest thing they've ever seen. It's not pretentious. It's setting yourself up to give them the best show that you possibly can.
That's true. You get what you put out.
I think people just get nervous because they're vulnerable. I think that there's a really fine line between being strong and vulnerable.
Yeah.
I personally walk that every day.
It's like you were saying earlier, like especially nowadays, people are so nervous, and it's like we are all very interconnected, but there's like a loneliness to it.
Absolutely.
Like that the internet brings, where it's like, yes, you can, everyone is at your fingertips, but it's like,
Are they?
Do you really
deeper
know them, though?
connections are hard.
They're at your fingertips, but you still can't touch one another.
Yeah,
We try to put our phones away when we hang out as a group a lot of the time.
that's good.
Tommy, what do you always say to us when we're on our phone? You have to be like a real person, right?
Yeah, I'm like, oh no, you have to conversate with people your phone died.
I'm like, oh, my phone died. He's like,
Whatever.
Oh,
you
yeah.
gotta talk to your
Uh,
friends.
Bummer.
No,
Yeah, we
not
are.
my friends. Fuck.
It's like we're all cyborgs now. It's like have computers attached to us. It's like not really that far of a jump to where it's just like in your brain.
yeah, no, I
Which
don't
is
even.
here too, isn't it?
Neuralink. I don't. I haven't looked into it recently.
Me either.
I don't even
But
fuck
I
with the
heard-
Apple Watch, bro. Don't
I
put
saw
shit on me.
headlines.
Mm-mm.
Knows about it.
It's
Yeah.
interesting that they call it social media when all it does is fuel isolation. When you're not
Isolation
there.
media. That's what they
Yeah.
should call it.
Yeah, that's less appealing to investors.
It doesn't
Yeah.
sound as good. This doesn't have the same ring to it.
No,
Not
it should
my
have a
metadata.
bit.
Depression media.
Yeah.
Depression
It's
media.
the same as Big Pharma, baby. We're fixing problems you don't have. We're just making you addicted to it.
We're
Yes.
giving you a problem that
Again.
we can
Yes.
fix.
I just want to say, this is all my opinions. Anything that comes out of my mouth does not represent the others.
As far as
of
I'm
this
concerned,
group.
it's a fact. It's what the pharmaceutical industry does. It's,
Alice is very aware of my unpopular opinions on things.
we tend to have a lot of those on this show as unpopular opinions. But yeah, you hit the nail on the head, man. It's really sick how medicine is such a business, you know? It's like, it really puts the ism in capitalism, where it's like, I am willing to make a profit at other people's lives. Like,
That's also a very American problem.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's
that's a
very
good point.
American
Yeah,
problem.
That's Canada doesn't have that issue. The UK doesn't have that issue.
They're right there,
Yeah.
Canada.
They are American in a sense. They're on the
North
North American
American.
continent. But
That's the most unfair
our
thing to say.
country is like, we could make money off.
Mhm.
Fuck you guys.
We can make you think you're getting
Yeah.
better, but then you're gonna have to go buy like 5 more bottles of this shit to like
Well,
think you're gonna feel better
Yeah.
I don't
temporarily.
necessarily think that these other countries don't have the same problem because big pharma is global.
I agree.
It is the way it is allowed here. When it starts here is our FDA. There's so many consumer items like high fructose corn syrup that is illegal in many other countries
Yeah.
but here. And that's really where it starts, where we overregulate to the point that everybody trusts regulation so much that when they're like, well, this is okay, we're just ready to eat that poison. You know?
Yeah.
And if things were completely wide open, it would it would be more dangerous, but less threatening.
Well, it's the libertarian theory, not to get into politics, but it's the people who think for themselves, right? So not to bash on all. So big pharma and medicine are two different things. I'm gonna bring into my mother here. She's an important part of my life. My mom is a nurse, and a damn good one. And one thing at the college that she started working at, one of the doctors she works with is very large into holistic medicine. Now, it's not to say my mom was ever a naysayer of holistic medicine, but she was not. Mom, and I'm sorry if you're listening to this and I'm completely off base. I don't remember
Sorry,
her
Maria.
being, sorry, Mama, being super into holistic medicine as a child. And she started working with this woman who brought this into her, and now my mom thinks for herself, and I love that about her, but she started to incorporate things like milk thistle. So she's like, if you're going to go out and drinking, take a little bit of milk thistle the night before. You will not have a hangover. It's a natural liver cleanser. And so to your point of the freedom thinking, my mom has, I believe, really married the thought of, yes, we need modern medicine because it does save lives, but there's also ways that we can incorporate things that might not be mainstream, and that's a really, good example for all things. It's thinking for yourself, and you'll hear me say this a lot. She's heard me say this a lot. She and I love the tarot. We love crystals. We love the zodiac. It's a tool, not a tell-all.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I think that's a lot of people's like pitfall with that kind of stuff is like, I read my horoscope once and it's like, if you read any of those things, they work. It's like, it kind of depends like how deeply you're actually investigating this and like,
Yeah.
do you know for the rest of your chart or you're just going off of like this really vague thing, you know?
A horoscope is not the zodiac.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's not astrology.
We
That's
don't,
what I
we
said.
don't mess with horoscopes, really.
I don't fuck with horoscopes.
Yeah, we don't fuck
because
with
it's
those.
just one person's interpretation of what they think the planets mean. And I think with astrology itself, it's more of a tool for like personality traits instead of just like, oh, well, tomorrow you're gonna fucking die. Like,
Yeah.
so like I don't ever fuck with horoscopes.
Bet
like,
it all on black tomorrow.
Yeah.
As well.
On the pitch
You
black
damn
cowboy baby.
Libra.
Yeah.
Like,
No, Rose knows a lot about astrology. She's taught me a lot.
I've been studying it since I was 8, so I got like an unnecessary amount of knowledge about astrology. But
yeah, I got into like spiritualism and the occult coming out of what I was raised in.
Sure, yeah.
I was also homeschooled, so I was literally everyone I knew up to the point I was 18 was in my church.
That's wild.
And I moved up here and like started going to shows, and for me it was like I was always attracted to the dark as an aesthetic, like Hot Topic, edgy 18-year-old, fuck my parents, fuck God. That, that's how it starts usually.
Sure.
And I'd never seen anything weird as a kid. It was only like until I went looking for it and like open those doors that, and in retrospect, like interacting with spirits later on in life, in retrospect I'm like, that's what that felt like at church. That was the Holy Spirit I was feeling. I just didn't realize it at the time because I had nothing to compare it to. And but yeah, for me it was very much started out as something very superficial and is just doing it for shits and giggles until like I bit off more than I could chew. I'm like, there's a lot of validity to this.
yeah. I think it just, depends on how open you are, whether those things make themselves apparent to you.
Oh,
Good or
totally. Yeah, I have a friend that I've done a lot of like different kind of spirit work with, and he's actually, you met Philip.
Yeah, he's cool.
He is an excellent channeler, but like the difference between like me and him would be like I have these walls up. I've experienced what I would consider bodily possession.
Oh. Wow.
And like channeling, but it stops at a certain point. Like even though this thing's in my body, it's like that I have these walls up. Whereas I know certain people that just do not have any walls up. They're just let something in completely. And I think a lot of that is just, like you were saying, it's how open you are to it. Anyone could get to that point, but it's like how many reservations do you have about that kind of stuff,
Well, it's also, what you're going to allow to come into you, like as far as absorbing that energy or absorbing, and it's not even just with spirits, but like, just when you meet somebody and like you get a bad vibe, like how much are you going to let that in before it becomes too much to handle? You see what I mean? So
Yeah.
like it's applicable in many different ways.
Yeah, that's true with people too, you're right.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about extraterrestrials, life outside this planet?
Oh, they out there.
Yeah, there's no shot. It's just us.
So
There
do
is no
you
way.
think they've been to Earth or are currently interacting with Earth?
Here's my theory. And I think we might have had this conversation. One of us here in Vern had this conversation recently.
Wasn't my ass. I don't really do the aliens.
Might have been you, Hunter. But anyways,
This could have been an all
New Year's on the balcony. Might have
it
been us.
probably was. Yep, it probably was.
It's one of those two
Were you
events.
involved in
for
this
sure.
alien
Yeah.
debacle too?
I don't know. But I feel like my theory is that if aliens have the ability to live in space, then why the fuck would they come here? Like, we're like the Middle Ages to them. They're like, any like alien encounter or alien like UFO sighting or whatever that like people on Earth may see, like they're just like, oh wow, cool. It's like the zoo to them. Like, oh wow, check out that.
That was like a family
primal
on their,
like
their vacation.
On their summer trip.
And down there you'll see California where everybody sucks, like, and then just fly off to New York somewhere.
Yeah.
They also suck over here. It's
Where
annoying.
John Lennon's standing on his balcony screaming about the UFO that just flew over. But yeah, that's just my theory. I'm just like, we're just too primitive for them.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way.
The universe is, at least from what I can tell, is infinite also. So it's kind of like, even if they were here at some point, who's to say they'd ever be able to get back? Because it's all moved. And it's like, how? That's like beyond a needle in a haystack. That's crazy.
The
Who's to say they're not in
astrophysics
charge?
and astro trajectory and mathematics that go into all those theories are so beyond our ability that anything that is not of this planet to get here would have to be on a technology that's so far what we can even understand. Because from what we understand, even if we found something, we could never make it to it. Even if we had the ability to travel there, we could never trajectory it because the universe is ever expanding and we're flying way too fast.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
there's that Japanese physicist I can't remember the name of right now, but he that's something he talks about a lot is like if that were to happen, if they were to come here, they're actually like a couple of steps beyond our comprehension, like not just one step outside of our comprehension, like multiple
Right.
levels
it's not
of technology
just
that we don't
haven't
understand.
figured out yet. It's some shit we haven't even conceived.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
and then some.
And it's the shit after the shit we haven't conceived that got conceived.
Yeah. So my next question was going to be interdimensional aliens, which we kind of got into a little bit, like instead of like off this planet, like somewhere outside of this dimension, which we might be talking about the same thing if at that point, because it's like if it is from another planet, their technology might be so advanced that they don't even travel through physics, like through space
as
and
we
time.
understand.
Yeah.
Like we understand travel in a very linear sense. You start at point A, you end at point B. Whether that's time travel or physical travel, that's how we see it. But like, they could be seeing shit a whole different way.
Yeah. There's that one of my favorite books, Slaughterhouse-5. You guys read that?
Buying it?
Yeah.
No.
There's a part in there, there's these aliens called the Tralfamadorians, and they're explaining to the protagonist, like, human beings to us look like it's like a millipede, and like there's a baby on one end and a really old person on the other, and they just see time as a landscape, like the whole thing all at once.
All time is happening at all times.
Yeah.
Past, present, future is all the same to them.
Yeah, like the universe they know how the universe will end because it's happened already.
Yeah, exactly.
I subscribe to the Tony Stark theory. I'm staying by that one.
What's that one?
Marvel.
No, what's his theory?
Multiverse.
Yeah, but what's the...
It's like the multiverse. Like there's lines of, universes happening and moving and grooving, but don't fuck with them. Just stay where you are.
Yeah, as people, we try to put like dimensions and measurements on things, but like from what I can tell of observable reality, it's infinite. So to me, that's like the universe is probably expanding infinitely, and also like there is no how small something could get. It'd probably go in infinitely, so that might be a form of travel. Is like you get so small that you're outside of time. I don't know.
Makes me want to trip acid.
Yeah, right.
I just got the sudden feeling like, ooh.
I was like, I want to do drugs.
Drugs.
Let's find out what's going on in the universe.
Yeah.
That would be a scary
That's how
place.
we can learn.
DMT time, Alex Gray style.
Hell yeah.
Jesus.
That'll fucking
I don't know
do
about
it.
DMT. Shrooms though. Let me know.
I'll pass. That's like, I'm manic enough. The last thing I need is a accelerant.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that'll do it. Like accelerate your mania for sure.
Yeah.
No, thank you. That we will not be banned anymore.
Nah, we can't Sid Barrett it. Can't do that. Like,
Quite a reference.
yeah.
she's
The hell of a
our
reference.
music reference girly for surezies.
I also have an unnecessary amount of musician knowledge. Like,
What-
unnecessary amount.
What'd you listen to like in the house? What'd your parents listen to?
Honestly, like a lot of Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd. My dad was like really huge into that, like Rush, Beatles, Elvis, Rolling Stones, Simon and Garfunkel, like anything classic rock. Like my dad was like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, so like he didn't really like like anything that wasn't made from like 1961 to like 1979. So like that was it. That
Pretty
was the
good
only,
20-year
like,
stretch.
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. So like it was
A lot of
always
good
like,
stuff there.
we were always listening to like 100.7, which is like the classic rock station in North Carolina. So like that was the only thing we could ever listen to. So either way, I mean, like I guess I appreciate it because that's where my love of music came from.
And then they started playing Nirvana, and
Then
he was like,
started
"What the
playing Nirvana.
fuck?"
Then I
Fuck is
saw
this?
Smells Like Teen Spirit's music video at 11.
I think we all kind of grew up with different musical influences. Like if we were to round table this out,
Yeah.
like Sinatra, Gypsy Kings, Garth Brooks. My mom liked Garth Brooks a lot. Any of like the mob hits, like that was really us. How about you, Gabe?
I love Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr.
That was your house growing up too?
No, that was just me.
What was your house growing up?
No, my dad was into like Jane's Addiction and some Lead.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was one of the first songs I ever heard. I think. That's what he told me.
Cool. How about you, Hunt?
Nice.
We didn't have music in the house. Like
That
that sounds,
didn't
Are you
visit
being
yet.
dead
that sounds like a
serious?
joke, but like I could tell you that my stepmom likes Hootie and the Blowfish, but not because I've ever heard her listening to it. I've just heard her, like, Darius Rucker shows up in, like, an American Idol spot, and she's like, Hootie! So, like, that's pretty much all I could tell you about my stepmom's music taste. She likes Hootie and the Blowfish. And then my dad, like, when he would take me to school, he would just turn the radio on. He listens to a lot of, like, talk radio. He loves listening to sports ball
Sports.
talk
I was gonna
on
say
the fucking radio.
sports.
If he was putting it on music, he'd either just put it on like the big country station, or like once Guitar Hero came out and I started asking him about real music,
Yeah.
he like had this moment where he was like, he totally changed in my eyes. I thought he was like only ever listened to country if he was listening to anything. And he was like, oh yeah, I've been to like 10 Van Halen concerts and like blah blah blah, and he like started whipping out like Black Sabbath CDs, and like he bought me tickets to an AC/DC concert like on the spot.
That's dope.
So for most of my like formative years, I just kind of found music on my own, like via my friends and stuff like that. But I didn't really have any parental music being passed down to me until I had kind of already formed my music tastes, and they just so happened to align
With your
in a lot
fathers.
of ways. Yeah.
That's cool.
Interesting.
How about you, T?
I also didn't have music growing up.
Really?
Yeah, we're not a musical family.
Wait,
Except for
even
me.
in like the car?
Yeah,
Okay.
they would like put on probably like Fox News Radio or something like that.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah. For me, like Simon and Garfunkel was big with my mom.
I love Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah, so good.
That's cool that like kind of carried over too from like your childhood, since a lot of things from what you've said have been different. So it's kind of cool that you still have that thread.
Yeah, I actually have really cool parents. I'm
believe it.
third generation Jehovah's Witness, or was former. I shouldn't say that's a cult thing. Is I still say we
you're part of it,
speak.
yeah.
But my parents were raised that way as well.
Cool.
Both of them, and they did the best they knew how to do. That's all they knew. So.
Most parents
but
are like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't matter if you're a Jehovah's Witness or not. Your parents just do the best that they
Yeah,
can do.
yeah.
Is
I
that
actually,
manual?
it's pretty unheard of for like Jehovah's Witnesses that leave, but I actually have a really great relationship with my mom and my dad and my sister.
Well, that's why, because when you said that, I was like, oh, that's cool, you have that thread. And then that surprised me, because I know somebody else who's a Jehovah's Witness, and they do not speak to their parent, or was, and they
Yeah.
don't speak to their family. So I'm so happy to hear that you
Yeah.
have still talked to
Yeah.
them. That's really cool.
It's completely unheard of. Yeah,
Yeah.
most kids in my situation don't ever have that.
That's awesome. That's, that's really cool.
My mom is literally the best person I've ever met, and that's like she was everyone's mom, you know.
That's my mom too.
Yeah.
Well, now you guys have to have a mom off to prove who's
I-
true.
My mom's cool.
Yeah.
My mom would not have a mom off with anyone. She would just be nice to
'Cause she'd
their
win.
mom. Yeah, she would win. Just kidding. Let's put them head to head, Alex. All right.
Steel cage death
Yeah,
match.
yeah.
Let's go.
Mom v mom.
Mom v
I
mom.
bit my tongue super hard to not say it. That's a blessing.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
I mean, I agree. It is.
It is.
Yeah, but a blessing can be from anywhere. You know, you can be. I think that's turned into a colloquialism. You know,
Oh, for sure.
I say. Oh,
I'm
that's
blessed for sure. We're all here. We're all alive.
Exactly.
What about like music now? Like, what are you guys listening to just like this week?
It's like an array of things. Like I have like a wide variety of like music tastes. Like I went from listening to like Stone Temple Pilots to like Tupac earlier today. So I guess the only kind of music I don't really like listening to is like pop, like generic pop or like country pop.
Yeah, I
Like,
feel ya.
I like listening to music that actually means something lyrically,
Hmm.
and so maybe that's why I like Simon and Garfunkel so much, because the way that they like compose their lyrics is just so poetic and so meaningful. And like I guess that's the difference like between like music from then and music now, is that like it's very rare to find a song made like in this realm that like has such a deep meaning past like anything superficial.
Yeah,
So, but
Yeah. It's getting rarer and rarer for sure.
You,
yeah.
you kind of have a different take on that, don't you? You kinda-
Yeah, I'm like the opposite.
You like pop music?
I like a little bit of everything, but I'm very much like you could be saying the most meaningful shit, but if the melody like doesn't get me, if it just bores me, then I don't care.
I
You know-
agree with that though. I agree with that.
Lewis Carroll, the guy who wrote Alice in Wonderland, he has a quote I really like. Says, "If you take care of the sound, the meaning takes care of itself."
Exactly.
So it's kind of like if it sounds
a good
good, it
quote.
makes sense.
Yeah, like I think Kurt Cobain like famously was like, they asked him like what he did first, like music or lyrics, and he was like music always.
Hmm.
He was like we can figure out the meaning later, but he was like, you got to get something that like you will first like, that you want to listen to, because if you don't like it, if you wake up and you're like, I wouldn't listen to this on the radio, then why
else
are
would
you,
why
you
do it?
yeah,
It's
what's the point of
true.
putting it out if you wouldn't listen to your own music,
Right.
or if you don't like your own music, you know?
We my friend Connor. Oh, you know Connor? Yeah. Connor Spillane.
Maybe.
He did the writers round with Jasmine. He played guitar behind her.
Yeah.
I'm sure you wouldn't mind me saying this, but he came on the podcast not too long ago, and we were talking about one of his projects, Karma Vulture.
Yeah, I know his band. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my boyfriend's band just played with them.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Was that one of their out of town shows?
No, their release show. My boyfriend is
Oh.
the drummer for Made Mother Cry.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, I know them.
Yeah,
Man, they're badass, dude.
Yes, they're actually also putting out a single on the 31st as
Yeah,
well.
it's sick.
Yep.
Okay.
Silhouettes. It's a good song.
You should put us in contact. I want to talk to them.
I will. I was actually thinking that you and Greg would probably get along super, super well. We
I've
have a
actually
lot
been
of
meaning
same-
to hit them up. So.
They're really cool people, and they would be a great group to have on here because they are all mouths and they have a lot to say.
Hell yeah.
They're cool dudes.
Yeah, let's make it happen.
Absolutely.
But Connor, when Connor was on, he was talking about Karma Vulture, and he called. I wouldn't call them this, but he called his band Butt Rock, and
Oh,
he's
fuck.
like this is this isn't like my favorite stuff to make, but it's like out of my projects, this is the one that's doing the best. So, but I just thought it was really awesome the way he said that. But it reminded me of what we were just talking about. Now it's like, why would you make music if you don't like what it
you don't
sounds?
like it,
Because it
yeah.
makes money. Because it
Yes,
sells.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
think
but I get
it's-
what you're saying for sure.
I feel like when our first song that we really wrote as a band, we wanted something that people could just kind of bang heads to. Like really from ground up, our whole which is crazy because I'm totally cerebral like Rose, and I'm a lyrics writer. And then he has to come in and dumb down my lyrics usually, or Gabe will do it. They'll say too wordy, rip it apart, and they make it better. That's why we have. But it's a good balance there in that regard. But I love me some Nickelback. Hell yeah.
That was so out of pocket.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. I don't
Love
think.
me some Nickelback.
You're talking about
We're
butt
not
rock,
talking
bro.
about Nickelback.
Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah,
They're
the
Nickelback
kings
is
of
quintessential
butt rock.
butt rock, and they're Canadian.
cornerstone of butt rock.
Just some random admission. I've never
Yeah.
Hey, you're on
I
camera,
got something to
G.
tell you.
Yeah,
Dude,
we
I
caught
fucking
the-
love Nickelback.
Me-
Talk
me-
to me about it.
Neve,
Divorced
clip
dad
that,
rock.
put it at the beginning.
Yeah.
that'll be our intro.
Yeah,
Dude,
fucking love
I
it.
bought a shirt out of Boston Flea Market, and I have worn it to Vern shows, and it is a full face tee of Nickelback, and I wear it often, and I love Nickelback.
Nice.
Yeah, Nickelback fucks. All
Nickelback
the right
is
reasons is a perfect album. No skips.
They've
That's
had some jams. I remember the Nichols and the Backs.
Yeah.
Backs in the day.
They're doing a tour. They're doing a tour.
We should open.
I was gonna say we should hit them on and be like, yo,
You hear that,
Krogi.
Chad
We all
Kroger?
got matching shirts.
Yeah,
Wait, we
exactly.
can find all the tour shirts that I got from like I think 2010. We just like all show
It's,
up the first day.
I have a pretty funny
Chad
story.
Kroger?
About that.
That's
Yeah.
the man.
That's
That's the
the
legend.
man.
One of my
Yeah.
best friends in high school, Tom's gonna kill me. One of my best friends in high school looked exactly like Chad Kroger, and we would torture him. We would put up Facebook photos, and we would clip an image from Google and put it in the comments. And finally, he was like, "Julian, you have to stop. Like, I'm over it."
Yeah.
I mean, he wore the puka shell necklaces and everything.
Well, he's asking for it
Oh,
though.
he's gonna listen to this too. He's the type of guy that's gonna sit down and listen to the whole podcast and be like, "Are you for real right now?"
I had a friend one year for Christmas. He was just like, you guys, and went out and bought CDs for all of you. And just keep in mind that I thought of each and every one of you when I got these CDs. And every single one of us got a Nickelback CD.
Yeah.
And
He was
will
like, "I
never
think you're all
forget
trash."
it. Right. Shout out Pedro. Like, thanks for the Nickelback CD.
I love it. Did you give him a Nickelback?
No, I gave him a middle finger. No, I'm kidding.
One of my childhood best friends, who is a killer drummer, by the way. Shout out John Ferrali. He and I, we joke about this all the time because neither of us to this day understand how this kept happening. But for, let's ballpark it, let's say 6 months, right? I would go to my mom's house every other weekend, and John lived in the same neighborhood as my mom. And pretty much every Saturday night, he would sleep over, and I would wake up in the morning. We would fall asleep watching like VH1 or whatever. This is back when I still did music videos and stuff. We would wake up. The moment either of us woke up, even if it wasn't at the same time, the music video for "Savin' Me" by Nickelback would play. like literally, it would be the first thing we saw, and we'd wake the other one up after we started catching on that this was happening every single weekend. I was like, dude, you're gonna miss "Saving Me." And for like 6 straight months, it was like like some people had Saturday morning cartoons, Sunday morning cartoons. We had Saturday morning Nickelback music video. It was our fucking thing.
That's awesome.
And it was never like I woke up and a couple things played and then "Saving Me" came on. It was literally the first thing that I saw upon wake. Like my body just knew that "Saving Me" was about to start, and I woke up just in time to catch the beginning frame.
It's the same ghost that you summoned
Yeah,
and broke the
exactly.
glass is still giving you omens.
Yeah, it's like, watch this
not
Nickelback
over.
video.
For 6 months.
Yeah, I'm gonna torture you with this.
Oh my god.
You'll never escape.
No.
And now, like, anytime I see the first frame of that video, I'm like, oh, this is saving me. It's so, like, ingrained in my brain. I could watch that whole music video with my eyes closed in my head.
Can you do
And
the
I wouldn't miss a
choreography?
single
The
shot.
choreography.
Can you do the choreography?
No,
in the music video?
that music video is like, they have like the in time situation where they have clocks above their heads, and like Chad Kroger can see when someone's about to die because their clock's about to run out. But if you save them and give them time, then they now see the time, and you don't anymore. It's like a fucking curse.
That's like
It's a pretty
Kinda
funny music
right.
video,
That's
actually.
Death Note,
It's,
isn't it? That's Death Note.
oh, they do have that
it
thing
is
in
very
Death Note.
similar to Death Note, yes.
The
Very Death Note
Shinigami
inspired.
eyes.
It came out at the
Yeah,
same
it's-
time. Like, Death
Neat.
Note was airing around the same time that video came out.
Interesting.
It's like, oh, that's a
I-
good idea.
It probably
Yeah.
was
Sick
just a
idea.
straight Shinigami Eye ripoff.
That's great.
Flipping through
Yeah.
Adult Swim one night.
This is a
There it
great
is.
idea for a music video for our hit single "Saving Me" coming out soon
Saturday morning.
on fucking Capitol Records.
I got a question for you, Alex.
Yeah.
Since we made me think of this, who's your favorite superhero?
That's a really good question.
It's a really important thing to this band, so.
Is it?
Is it?
I don't know,
Yes,
man.
yeah.
And
Well, it was
why
for a while. We go to a lot of the
is
Marvel
it-
releases together.
Doctor Strange.
I can see that. That's facts, right?
I love Doctor Strange.
That might be my answer. Let me think about this for a
Dope
minute.
one.
How about you, Neve? You got an answer for this one?
Yeah, but y'all aren't gonna. Well, y'all might like it. It's pretty pretentious.
Superman?
No.
Oh, okay. Then it's all
What's
good.
pretentious
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Superman?
I fucking hate Superman. That's my least favorite. I know that's just a
Well, now I
no-brainer
want to
for me.
That's
know.
what I thought. No, I thought like.
I gotta
okay.
know.
Is it me?
I still.
Oh.
Yeah!
Shit, I was close.
You were close,
I
yeah. Me
should've
from a
seen that
different
coming.
You
perspective.
must
I
have
know,
not.
right?
Yeah, I'd give the same answer. Neef's my favorite superhero.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Neve is Vern's favorite superhero.
I'm gonna third that one.
We're,
Hell
instead
yeah,
of
let's go.
instead of Vern, we're just gonna get Neve's face on our t-shirts.
Yeah,
we're
there you
gonna
go.
sell that.
Can we get you
okay?
in a cape with
When
a
I
big
ran
V on the
news,
front?
There was a group of kids that came up that would work in. I still know some of them, and they came to me one day and they're like, "We're gonna start a band called the Neefs."
I'd be honored.
That's
And-
awesome.
Well, no, it was funny, but you know, it was just we had another club at the time, but yeah, it just cracked me up
Not
because
gonna
I
matter.
had a band, and you know, I mean, I still put stuff out. I just don't have a
Where's
band.
it called? The Neves?
No, I just Neef is my pseudonym.
He's like,
my
that's a
writing
good idea.
pseudonym.
That's not your real name.
No.
Oh.
No,
Man of mystery.
No, it's not that big of a mystery.
Megan.
It actually ended up working out. I've been known as Neef since I was a child.
Oh.
My real name's Keith Walker. There is a country music guy.
I was gonna say you sound like a cowboy.
Well, there's a country music guy who's not. He's regionally known.
Yeah.
His name's Keith Walker. He's actually on BMI also. So if I pull my BMI up, I got it like.
Yeah.
Like that's not like this.
Interesting.
You know, but
Yeah.
and it kind of worked out for both him and I because when I came down on the scene, he's no longer with us. My drummer from way back knew me as Neef, and so he introduced everybody to me. Just that's how he did. So everybody caught on to that. So when I registered a BMI, I just went ahead and used that as my pseudonym because that's everybody in this town knows me as Neef.
Nice.
That's kind of how I got G. Working in music industry, because like I went to school for that, and before I like really dove into the artist thing, and I realized that for a lot of like the PA events that I was doing, nobody was remembering my name, and so it would be like a year later, and a celebrity that I had worked with would remember my name because it was a single letter, G.
Makes sense.
Kind of
Makes
like
sense.
trying to steer away from that though. I like Juliana, you know.
Yeah.
I don't mind if you call me G, but it used to just be a thing that close friends and family called me, and like now everyone calls me that. So I don't know, kind of like that's whatever.
It makes sense when you're trying to get off the ground, but you want to reestablish yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean now we have Vern. Vern's easy to spell, right?
Yeah.
So I don't need to have a name that's easy to spell.
Yeah.
And the rest of them, you can spell their names very easily. So you can learn to spell mine if you can. You know what I mean?
True.
So I'm thinking Doctor Strange or possibly Batman. Batman does have a special place in my heart, but only Alan Moore's Batman. Like Killing Joke Batman. Alan Moore is like really the guy who made Batman cool and not Boom Pow era. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Yeah, he's the guy who wrote Watchmen, and his whole thing is he worked for DC, but he hated superheroes, so he made Watchmen as just a giant fuck you to DC Comics, like Mr. Manhattan. Have you guys seen Watchmen?
The X-Men
Fucking
movies?
love that movie.
I've read it.
Good
Wa-
boy.
oh, yeah, that's
Haven't
awesome.
seen
I
it.
actually haven't read all those, but
You're a big comics guy, Tommy, huh?
You haven't seen it?
Huh?
You haven't seen it?
Seen parts of it. I
What?
started watching it, and
It's-
then I got mad.
I was gonna say it's one of those deals where like it's a good movie.
It's like, yeah.
It is not a good Watchmen
totally misses.
adaptation.
Yeah, absolutely.
gotcha. I actually haven't read Watchmen. I want to though.
Alan
Oh,
Moore
it's
hates the
the
film.
Best comic
really?
ever.
Alan Moore hates pretty much any film version of his work
Gotcha.
because
Yeah.
most of them
I mean,
miss
he
the
seems
point.
like the guy.
It's like
Most
Ste-
of them
it's like
miss
Stephen
the point.
King. Stephen King hates all this stuff.
No.
He hates a lot of
No,
his
he-
adaptations.
He hates a decent amount.
straight up
He's got
Not as
some
much as
genres,
Alan
though.
Moore.
I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah. I don't think
trying.
Alan Moore
Stephen
likes
King, it was
anything.
more the
Yeah.
people who
Well,
made
he
his
hates
films,
Kubrick.
like Kubrick.
He hates
He-
Kubrick.
yeah.
Hated Stephen King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
That's
guys
what
don't.
that was. Kubrick was like.
It's a
yeah,
car.
that's
The
that-
car crush.
Yeah,
That's a
like-
big fuck
like,
you.
That's about
What-
But Kubrick did that with everybody.
Yeah.
What are y'all's favorite superheroes?
Start with him.
You.
Start with me.
Cause you're the superhero guy, dude.
I mean,
You're our superhero.
Yeah, you're my
That's
superhero.
You can be my hero.
I mean,
baby.
you know, a lot of the generic ones like Spider-Man and
Spider-Man's a really good. I was thinking that he's really great.
Yeah, he's a great guy too. I really like Superman too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Superman rules. I saw this like one thing one time that was like, if I woke up and I was Superman, I would go back to sleep and want to be Batman. I was like, what the fuck?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, fair enough. I
Just
mean,
because you don't like him doesn't mean it wouldn't rock to have those powers.
I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
really?
maybe like he's got the cooler costume, but like literally everything
He,
else,
Superman
even
can
a
fly.
I would
bro.
most rather have. Yeah.
He's got laser eyes.
Never has to
Yeah.
pay for gas
And just-
again.
Yeah.
You could
Just
lift a
fly.
car like a
You're
planet.
so
He
pregnant.
can fly so
It's
fast he
true.
time travels.
have you read or seen Invincible?
I love, yeah.
Dude.
Uh,
Love
it's a
that
great,
show.
it's a
Dude,
great
it's so
show.
good.
It's a good
Invincible's
comic too.
amazing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What was?
No, you're good.
So Superman, Spider-Man.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, a lot of those ones, you know.
I'm with you. Even though I hate Superman, like he's pretty much got the best powers. Like there's not really any of them that have better powers.
Yeah.
He's got it all.
I
I
feel
think
like
that's my problem with him. Actually, he's got
That's most
everything.
people's problem with
He's
it.
a jock.
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't
Oh,
fucking
no,
break
no,
the
no,
jock.
he's not a jock.
No, but he is,
No,
though.
no, he's a
journalist.
Being here on
No,
this
he's
planet.
He's a
No, but he's a jock, bro.
He's a
good
fucking-
looking,
he's a journalist.
Smart. He's a fucker
He's a
at your high
journalist.
school that you wanted to hate, but you couldn't fucking hate because he was smart.
She's
and he
never
was
read
athletic.
Superman, obviously.
No, I haven't. I'm
or
trying
watched
to-
Superman, or
Actually, no,
done
I've actually-
anything.
Because, and then it took something as simple as a rare mineral to fucking completely destroy.
No.
Well, okay.
Yeah, like
here's,
they're all breaking
here's,
up with him for him to be a total
here's-
drunk
They
bastard,
did that
like you see
because
most of
he was
that
too strong,
bullshit
right,
from
before
small
losing interest.
towns.
What?
God.
Yeah.
Or he gets
Something
on
like
crystal
that.
meth.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah.
first.
I mean, I'm from
Small
up north. We do
town.
heroin, but
He needed
Yeah.
kryptonite because at first he wasn't. He
From
was too
Mass.
strong.
It was too strong. Nobody
Yeah.
had any
But
interest.
what makes Superman cool, in my eyes, why I like Superman so much, is because of the fact that this guy's got this literal, like, unlimited power. He could destroy a fucking planet.
He's
and,
a
like,
god amongst men.
enslave everyone if he wanted to. But instead, he's like this old Kansas farm boy who just chooses to
Not.
Not
to
do
not.
not do that.
Yeah.
Not
but
kill
it's like, you know,
everyone.
it's like he's living in this world of cardboard where he like constantly has to be, you know, like pulling back and like not like, you know, trying to like fucking blow up the space-time continuum or
Yeah.
some shit like that. And yeah, it's more like it's his humanity. Like, despite all these incredible things he can do, he still prefers to be.
That's
Almost
a
more of
really
a
good
human.
argument. You're still wrong though.
So.
that's exactly why I like Iron
Yeah,
Man.
Read-
one
read-
problem
read-
in your walls.
Read All-Star Superman,
Okay.
and
Is
that
that-
will change your mind.
All-Star Superman, is that a comic series or is that like old school?
It's not really a series. It's more of a of an omnibus.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Very cool. I'll check that out.
I highly recommend.
I need to give him a fair chance. I don't think I have.
That one's a good one.
Favorite superhero?
I mean, it's kind of tough for me because I was never super into superheroes. Like, I loved, like, the...
Super.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. I loved, like, the fucking Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. Those are
dude.
great movies.
Best Spider-Man.
A couple of the X-Men movies are good. A couple. And, like, the MCU has, like, some scattered good movies amongst a pile of movies.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to, like, say... Like, I could just pick Spider-Man or something to simply answer the question, but I don't really resonate with any of those characters in the way that you should resonate with your favorite of something. But for me, I did watch a lot of anime, which is basically superheroes.
I was a
They're
weeb
just,
too.
Same.
They're just not under the Marvel or DCU brand.
That counts, Hunter.
So, like, I'm just going to stick Goku on the wall because he's basically Superman, but interplanetary. He's from a race of people who are born and bred to conquer planets and enslave them.
I think.
And he got dropped on his head as a baby and lost those violent tendencies. But he's still the strongest
Is
one
that
of
really
his...
part of his lore?
That's canon, yeah.
I
In-
think.
in original
you
Dragon Ball.
You gotta watch the original Dragon Ball.
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
watch Dragon Ball
And
No Z.
I think
And get
that
past the fact that they went ahead and made him anatomically correct and all his naked little voice.
They did.
I remember Dragon Ball. I didn't know that like he hit
No,
his head. That's
he
why
hits
he's
his head
not
like
other
in
I
Saiyans.
had no
episode
idea about
1,
that. Did
and
you?
that
He
like
turns into the big giant.
Monkey.
yeah.
And that's what he's supposed to actually do.
Yeah.
Do
So
that
he
and take over planets.
his dad sent him to Earth as his race was being destroyed by Frieza with the goal of like he can conquer this planet, and then when Frieza inevitably finds him on Earth, he can be useful since he conquered the planet, and he won't get executed on sight. If you have seen the show, you know how that went, which is not quite like that.
Yeah.
But same reasons he likes Superman is why I like Goku. He could be a god if he wanted to, and in current Dragon Ball canon, he pretty much is. But he exclusively tries to do right by people who can't help themselves, essentially. At least not.
Sounds
in
like
the
a
capacity
superhero
that
to
he
me.
can. Yeah.
That I give that a pass.
And I think too that Akira Toriyama actually was just like, I'm just gonna make this Japanese
just gonna
version
make
of
Superman. Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
And he was like, I'll add a couple little. I'll give him a tail.
I'll give him a
and-
tail.
I'll name
He
him
turns
after a
into
carrot.
a werewolf, basically.
Yeah.
I'll name him after a little vegetable,
Right.
and no one will notice.
What is Goku?
Everything's gonna be.
His original name is Saiyan name is Kakarot, which is Japanese for carrot.
Carrot.
Oh, cute.
There's Piccolo.
Every
Just
Saiyan,
all
Really?
Vegeta or vegetables.
every
Vegeta
Saiyan
is
is named
straight
after a
Vegetables.
vegetable. Yeah.
Interesting.
Who else do
Radish.
we have?
Um,
Is Krillin or something?
It's only Saiyans.
Only
so,
Saiyans?
so Kakarot, carrot. Vegeta is just
Oh,
vegetable.
Piccolo.
Piccolo is a Namekian, and that's an instrument. Not a vegetable.
okay, then why does he look like a pickle then?
Alright.
Explain that.
Because he's Pickle Rick.
I'm thinking
Carrot, vegetable,
Raditz.
Raditz is a radish, Napa is a form of cabbage.
Cabbage.
Um,
I know that one.
Kaba is just cabbage without j.
Raleigh's broccoli.
Yeah. Paragus, asparagus.
Is this like Asian VeggieTales minus the Jesus?
Pretty much, yeah.
Minus
in
the
a way.
Jesus.
And the singing.
And the singing. Yeah.
And it's more
Asian
violent.
And
It's
they
much
conquer
more violent.
planets. Instead
Yeah.
of
I've never seen Dragon Ball.
Yeah, they're
It's Asian
warriors.
VeggieTales minus
Yeah,
the
sure.
cheeses.
Yeah.
That should be enough to get
Is
someone.
Yeah,
your
you've seen
favorite
it.
also Goku, Gabriel?
No, I was born in Queens, so.
Oh, okay.
You gotta go Spider-Man.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Or Daredevil. No, that's Hell's Kitchen.
You could,
Still New York.
You could pick
though.
Captain
It's still a
America,
borough.
too.
Brooklyn.
Yeah, you
I
could pick
believe
America's
so.
ass, but you don't.
why would you? He's kind of a nerd until the MCU showed up.
Spider-Man is great. He's like he doesn't have any money, which makes him cooler than Batman.
True.
He's
He's
probably
at
like
least
me.
more relatable.
Yeah.
than Batman.
Yeah.
On the financial
I don't know.
side.
He's
Having
like-
the more money like Batman would be sick.
Oh,
True.
well, I'm not. You're not wrong.
He's less goals
But-
and more. Oh my God, that's me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
One thing I do really like about Spider-Man is it's like half the time he's fighting crime and half the time he's just trying to pay rent.
Yeah.
And that Spider-Man's very relatable.
He can't
in
get
that
his
sense.
landlord
He's
to
your-
fix his fucking door,
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
I can't.
You'll get your money when you fix this damn door.
Yeah, that's
It's
the
such
most
a
relatable
quotable
scene.
movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's
yeah.
that
Dig on this.
friendly neighborhood
The
Spider-Man.
friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Y'all are gonna hate my answer for this.
Go on.
Because I like Iron Man because he's a prick.
Oh yeah.
And also Robert Downey Jr. is not bad to look at, so that doesn't hurt anything. But I like Iron Man because he's accurate for I feel like what that would be if you had
Oh,
that
yeah.
job. He's a dick. He does his job well. He shuts the fuck up. He goes home, and he gets it done. And he he doesn't love the spotlight, but he loves the spotlight a little bit. You kind of see into that.
He very
that
much
demon.
loves the
No,
spot.
but he doesn't. But he
No,
does.
he does.
But he
Yeah.
does, but he
He does.
doesn't.
He literally
right?
has an entire tower that has his name on it.
Sure.
Like it's a strip.
Sure. But like he's
not
also
into the spotlight as much as he's into the recognition.
yeah, he's not like his personal life. Like he doesn't really want that all up
Well,
in
no.
his shit. He wants he wants to be known for his accomplishments, But I like him because he's a prick. But I mean, I'm Northern. We tend to do that. I also, based on movies, like Ant-Man, just because I love Paul Rudd very much. So anything that he's in, I basically will love just for that.
Iron Man, if he existed, absolutely would be an asshole. So I agree
He'd
with
be
you.
horrible, but
That's
I would
for
still
sure.
love him.
There's like an accuracy to it. That's why we were talking about Watchmen earlier. Like Alan Moore fucking hated Superman for one, and also Batman. But like his Dr. Manhattan is his fuck you to Superman because he's like Dr. Manhattan is on another level from even Superman. Like he can see
He's
all
one of those
time.
fifth dimensional beings we were talking about.
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah.
And he's like, I cannot be bothered to give a fuck to do anything. And it's like, because like even if I save humanity or don't, it literally makes zero difference to the outcome of things. So he just cannot be bothered to give a fuck. And I think he's a really realistic superhero, kind of like what you were saying about Iron Man.
Yeah, I like it. I don't know. What about you, Ro?
I didn't really watch Marvel or DC growing up or read it, but if I had to choose a superhero, it'd be Static Shock.
Oh hell yeah!
Damn, that is a
Sick,
deep
bro.
cut.
Yeah.
Good
Holy
He's a-
shit.
So dope.
He's a humanitarian first and then a superhero second.
I haven't even
That's why.
And
thought
that
about
sick look,
Static
yo.
Shock.
He got that
Like
board.
Earthman, like when we used to watch
Captain Planet.
Captain Planet.
Oh shit!
He's our
Just
hero.
kidding.
He's
Don
a hero,
Cheadle's
yeah,
Gonna bring
exactly.
pollution down to zero.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's right,
Bad
baby.
guys.
Did you guys ever watch those videos as a kid where they were like, "We're gonna be blood brothers," and they were like, "Do not mix your blood," and they were like in the
You know, I
shed.
went to school with
No.
two girls that did
I did
that
not.
shit.
Dude,
and one got
what?
sick.
I have a vivid memory of this
That's what usually
educational
what
video.
That's
happens.
usually
Yeah.
what fucking happens.
I think it was health class. And it was like these two little kids, and they were like, "We're gonna like cut our hands and
If
like
any
be
class.
blood, be
Yeah.
blood
Yes,
brothers."
it
It was
would.
like,
I hope it's
"Don't
health
do
class.
this,"
I hope
and I
this
think
isn't
it was
like
Captain
math.
Planet.
Right.
What the fuck? I didn't see that episode.
I'm
I
from
may
up
have
north.
missed
My
that
high
one.
school, my high school health class had a section on butt sex.
All right. Were they like introducing enemas?
No,
The way you said that
Mr.
was
Harris was like,
fantastic.
if you're gonna stick your dick up someone's ass, put a condom on it because that is how you get HIV. Like and you had to. Our parents signed off on a form that we
Wow.
could be in the class and they would admit it. But where I'm from Massachusetts, they're very open about that. I mean, he talked about everything from STDs to safe sex to anal sex to oral, everything.
Wow.
Oh no, ours was like based around God. Like we had to all go into the gym, and they were just like, God does not want you to have sex before you're married. And I'm sitting next to like four girls that are like already sexually active, and I'm just like, well,
He's giving up on these four.
so it's like,
They
should we
did
even
that.
be in here right now?
He's led them astray.
I was homeschooled, so my sex ed class was really interesting. Just kidding.
Oh God!
Demonstration. I'm just kidding.
Show me here where he touched you.
Oh God.
Too far.
Jesus Christ! No
What
pun intended.
He was
What-
there.
what do you guys
Yeah.
think?
He should have been.
Where do you think humanity's gonna be doing in like 100 years?
Dead.
Like we already. Okay.
We're all gonna be dead.
We're doomed.
It's not gonna be that quick,
Nah.
unfortunately.
We did talk about earlier how like people in the 60s would have no fucking clue what's going on now. So like trying to estimate the next 100 years is pretty much impossible. But still, let's take a crack at it.
Is it a cop out for me to say that that gives me a lot of stress and I like can't even figure out I don't know, people just bum me out, man. I try to see the good in people and but I'm just concerned, like you said earlier, to just full circle that shit. I'm concerned with what people can do with what they have, and I'll leave that there.
Yeah.
That's true.
Nuclear fallout's not out of the question.
Oh,
Nah,
definitely
there'll
not.
never be a
so-
nuclear war because humans are too egotistical.
Okay.
There won't be.
There's definitely never been an example of a nuclear bomb, especially not
Because of
two.
egos.
I definitely couldn't think of at least two
No,
examples.
I'm talking about a real World War III. Humans are way too egotistical. If you start blowing shit up with nukes, you evaporate the whole human race, right?
Unless you think you can get away with it.
Yeah. then
Unless
you
you're so egotistical that you're like, I can do this and not be retaliated against.
I don't know,
and you'll be
man.
wrong. But
I don't think so, man. I think that we don't get, like, people like to think that we don't give the powers that are not visible enough credit that they will squash that shit within about 30 seconds if you try to do that shit. How the fuck have we lasted this long if there's not someone behind the scenes? Super, super secret. I'm not talking about country. I'm not talking about religious. I'm talking about there is a group of people out there that are moving shit.
oh, for sure.
Hunter knows.
Huh?
Bilderberg or Illuminati?
The bank?
Illuminati.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
like,
you're doing it. Yeah,
whatever,
that's what I'm doing.
whatever
Yeah.
you want to call it.
Like,
I'm not
Bilderberg,
trying to sound like a
Bilderberg.
conspiracy theorist,
Calm
right?
for us.
It's not even really a conspiracy.
It's not.
The fact that
Yeah,
the federal
Frosted
bank
Pines.
Yeah,
controls everything.
Rothschild.
But I'm not even talking about the
Ross-
federal bank. I'm just talking about it's like what you guys
That's
said
the
earlier with
fact that
aliens.
The Federal
Oil.
Bank Reserve
Big
controls.
oil.
Oil.
It's aliens,
Steel.
right? There's something else out there.
banks.
And
Another buzzword.
like what Hunter said, I'm not arrogant enough to believe that
Oil,
all this
steel,
shit
banks.
happens without something controlling it. someone's doing something. Because people are fucking stupid inherently.
Oh,
We need
yeah.
a little
Real
bit of a,
lies,
you know,
real lies,
stay in line.
real
And it needs to be
lies.
something that nobody knows is controlling them. I don't know.
Yeah,
It
no,
makes sense.
I
I
don't believe
totally agree
shit
with you.
anymore. So I just like look through social media and I'm like, half of that's true, half of that's false.
Unfortunately,
Half. That's
I-
optimistic.
I
I'm
just
li-
flip a coin just to decide what I believe.
There you go. Let the coin decide.
Yes, yeah. Yesterday, Gabe was in seminary, and today he's in a
it's
punk
different.
band.
it's actually, I wish I didn't look at it this hyperbolic, but I literally distrust anything I hear in the media rather than believe it at this point. Like I'm more likely to believe the opposite than I am to believe what I'm told. And that I really wish I wasn't that. But anyway, I only say all that because I totally agree with you. There's more, I don't know what it is either, but it's more going on than what we're shown. Every figurehead we've had, at least in my lifetime, is a puppet for something else. And that's all sides of everything. It's there. The idea that we have control over anything that happens politically, at least in this country, is like, okay, do you want shit A or shit B? Those are your options. And those aren't really options. It's like, do you want to get kicked in the face or kicked in the balls? What's it going to be?
I think George
Face.
Carlin said it best in, regards to that. They just don't want a population that's capable of critical thinking.
Mm.
So when you get option A or option B, you think those are the only two options you have available to you, when there are definitely much more you can choose from. It's just this is how it's being presented.
And that's why you can go buy cigarettes or alcohol, but you can't get mushrooms.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what they don't want people doing, is like thinking outside of the box they've been put into.
Even though it's been, they've been doing, studies that mushrooms are doing wonders for people with dementia and Alzheimer's.
Oh, and PTSD.
And PTSD.
Depression.
Yeah. Yep.
They're moving some of that shit in though.
literally
You
everything
can
now.
legally
All the
microdose
incurables.
now in some states.
Really?
Yeah.
There's 3
Oh, yeah,
cities
Colorado.
that legalized the possession of.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing is,
Vegas.
you must always remember, it is never illegal to use a substance, because that would be the government literally telling you they're controlling what you're doing.
It's just
So
possession.
It's all about possession of a controlled substance, a substance that are wonderful powers that we have deemed that we, for some reason, don't have the responsibility to touch, even if it's a plant that grows naturally out of the fucking ground. So.
It's very true.
I'm slowly, and this is entirely Neef's fault, I'm slowly going from small government to no government. I'm getting more radical every
There's
fucking
no
day.
government like
It doesn't
no
matter
government.
what side you're on. I mean, none of them give a fuck about us. It doesn't matter. Not to get political, but like that's just kind of my view on politics as I've gotten older. Because like you could be Democratic, Republican, Independent, Libertarian, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But at the end of the day, like they really don't give a shit about any of us.
Nope, not
It doesn't matter.
Nobody. They don't
So-
give a fuck about anybody. They care about money, and they're less likely to fuck over the people that have money, but only a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, I don't
Worried
talk
about
politics.
legacy.
That's why I do music. Some people, personally, some people do music and they talk about important things really well. I do music to talk about what I'm going through and that maybe somebody else is going through emotionally, to get away from the bullshit that they have to deal with every day.
That brings me to a great question. This is something I ask everybody, so don't feel put on the spot. But do you remember when the last time you cried was?
Yeah, probably this morning, dude. I'm like, I cry every day.
That's a good
January
answer.
6th.
Are you fucking for real?
Dead ass. Yeah. That was
Like,
at our,
of this year or
this year, yeah.
oh, okay, not
yeah,
the big
remember
one.
we had the
Yep.
party with Allison.
Yep.
Yeah. We had this like kind of a
Yes,
full moon
I do
ritual
remember.
party. And it was like we were releasing all of the shit that happened to us last year into the new year. And I was just like, I fucking hated 2022. Like,
Yeah.
and that was the last time I cried. I really don't cry very much. Like, I don't think about bad shit. I mean, I do, but I don't. But I don't let it affect me to the point where it, like, inhibits me emotionally.
You don't happy cry?
I laugh cry.
I happy
But,
cry
like,
a lot.
sad cry, very, very rarely.
I cry all the time. How about you, Gabe?
I don't remember.
Damn. Hunter?
Yesterday.
You're like me? You're like, when? Tommy?
Probably sometime 2 summers ago.
Damn, I wish. I like hear a song that hits me the wrong way and I turn into a bottle.
That's usually for me. Like, I don't really like. I take things in stride when they happen. It's like, yeah, this is fine, and then I'll listen to a song or a certain movie or something, and then it's like,
I think it's
not even
interesting that you would say that you wish that would be.
Yeah, dude.
Because I'm the exact opposite. I used to never, and now it's like Alex is saying. There's music that I'll listen to that I've listened to years. I'll just weep.
Oh yeah,
It's not always a sad thing, you know.
I think I went through all of high school without shedding a single tear, and then something changed after.
You went through high school without crying?
Yeah.
That was my magnum opus of meltdowns and tantrums.
I think that's why it happens so often now, is because I didn't do it when I should have.
Push it
So now it
down.
just appears randomly sometimes.
suppress.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I miss my family a lot of the time, so if I hear certain Frank Sinatra songs, I lose my shit because I think of my dad.
Yeah. I don't know. I just I don't know how to say it without giving out too much information. But my dad was kind of fucking crazy, so like he always viewed like crying as like a weakness. So that's just kind of how I like grew up. And so like, you know, very similarly like Hunter, I would just like push that shit down because I didn't want people to see me as weak. But like as I got older, it's like you realize it's okay to have those moments of weakness because you're only human. Like you have to, because no one's a fucking robot and nobody can just push that shit down because it just harms you in the end. You gotta release it.
Yep.
You gotta let that shit go.
It's not just gonna go somewhere. You have to release it somehow.
And not only does it affect you, but it affects people around you that you care about too. And that's honestly not more important than the other, but equal in importance. You don't want to hurt the people around you, but you also don't want to hurt yourself in the same time.
You do both if you hurt the people around you, because then you destroy your we and you become I, and nobody likes to live in an I.
Correct.
So.
Like we were talking earlier about how art is communication, like trying to say something that you can't say. And I think, like for me personally, arts is a release, kind of like crying, where it's like that's getting it out of you. It's like an exorcism.
Catharsis.
100%.
Yeah.
Or,
It's a catharsis.
I guess exorcism works too.
It's freedom.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you got to do something with it. Don't find some kind of outlet, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but for some people, you know, it's a gym. For some people, that's, you know, music.
Well, everybody expresses it in different ways, whatever resonates with them.
I'm Italian and Greek. I had no chance. I had no chance.
Well, thank you all so much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Wow,
Yeah.
we said it at the same time. Jinx.
Yeah.
I would love to have you guys back sometime.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
totally.
absolutely.
Promote the next thing. So
Hell yeah.
Do you do
that
music
album.
yourself, Alex?
I don't. I make poetry and I'm writing a fantasy novel.
Nice.
All right, you
Hell
gotta have Greg on this podcast.
Okay.
He's also writes.
I would-
Dude, Greg
I
is
would
cool.
love that.
You'd love him.
Everyone
and the
loves
band.
Greg.
The
Yeah,
whole
his
band.
whole band. They're, like I said, they're Mouse Man. They're really entertaining dudes. So
Right on.
thank
Yeah.
you, Neve,
Greg
for
is-
everything.
Yeah,
Greg
thank
is
you.
Since you brought it up, I post all my poetry and the book I'm writing
Yeah.
page by page on my Instagram,
Cool.
my primary.
Badass.
I love the Alex.
So as I write it, it's there as I'm writing it.
I'll check it out now that I know it's there. I'm terrible. I'm a click and scroll girl because I'm just like, get me off this.
Yeah,
thing.
it's weird doing like poetry or writing on Instagram because everything's picture based and it's like no one wants to look at a wall of text. So
Right, yeah.
I also make
Do you handwrite it or do you?
yeah.
Be surprised more people probably resonate with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I make sigils and embed them in the writing. So it's like you'll see an image that's actually made out like a sigil is like a symbol that's made out of letters. If you didn't know, Alice, and it's I'll put the words around it. So it's like I'll draw this thing and then the words kind of I write them around the thing. So it all just kind of like it looks like a big mess actually, but.
Cool.
Right
Yeah.
on.
I'm down.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to take a peek at it. I think we all can.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, guys, be safe getting home. It was
Thank you.
really good
Thank
talking to you
you.
guys. I'd love to have you back. Check out Vern, Alice. New single comes out in my night. And what was the name of the album? I don't think I asked.
EP, Girls Are Scary.
Ooh, I like that.
Horrifying.
And that's May 1st, you said?
That coming up in mid-May.
Mid-May. Okay.
Mid-May.
Be on the lookout, Alice. Links below. See you next week.